Captain Sarah Chin stared at the mission briefing display, her coffee growing cold in the dim light of her quarters aboard the U.S. Defiant. The order seemed straightforward enough. Take 3 ships beyond the Outer Rim colonies, conduct standard reconnaissance sweeps, and report back within 30 days. A milk run, as her crew would say. But something felt wrong. Computer, replay Admiral Morrison's message, she commanded, settling back in her chair. The holographic display flickered to life, showing the weathered face of Earth's most decorated military leader. His usual confidence seemed strained, his eyes avoiding direct contact with the camera. Captain Chun, your mission parameters are classified at the highest levels. You'll be operating under radio silence protocols once you pass the Kepler Station checkpoint. Remember, this is purely reconnaissance. Under no circumstances are you to engage any hostile forces without direct authorization from command. The message ended, leaving Chun with more questions than answers. In her 15 years of service, she'd never received orders with such explicit non-engagement clauses. The brass usually trusted her judgment in the field. A soft chime announced her first officer's arrival. Lieutenant Commander Marcus Webb entered, his expression mirroring her own concerns. Captain, the crew's assembled for departure. But I have to ask, what aren't they telling us? Chun stood, straightening her uniform. That's exactly what I intend to find out. The bridge of the Defiant hummed with controlled energy as they departed Earth's orbital shipyards. Alongside them, the destroyers Vigilant and Resolute maintained perfect formation, their sleek hulls gleaming against the star field. Jump coordinates locked in, reported navigation Officer Torres. We'll emerge in the Centauri drift, approximately 47 light-years from our furthest colony. Initiate jump sequence, Chin ordered. The familiar sensation of space folding around them lasted only seconds, but when the stars realigned, they found themselves in truly unexplored territory. The nearest human settlement was 3 jumps away. They were completely alone. Begin long-range sensor sweeps, Chin commanded. I want to know about every piece of space debris larger than a coffee cup. Hours passed in routine scanning operations. The crew settled into their familiar rhythms, but Chin noticed a tension in their movements. They all sensed something unusual about this mission. Captain, called Sensor Specialist Kim from her station. I'm detecting metallic signatures at bearing 27 Mark V, distance approximately 12 million kilometers. Chin moved to the tactical display. Can you identify the composition? Working on it now. The signatures are unusual, not matching any known materials in our database. Webb joined them at the display. Could be natural formations. Some asteroid fields contain rare minerals. Perhaps, Chin mused, but her instincts disagreed. Take us closer. 1/4 impulse. As they approached the coordinates, the sensor readings became clearer. What they found sent a chill through the bridge crew. Captain, Kim's voice was barely a whisper. Those aren't asteroids. They're ships. The main screen revealed a vast field of derelict vessels, their alien designs unlike anything in human records. The ships were massive, each one easily 10 times the size of the Defiant. Their dark hulls reflected no light, as if they absorbed energy rather than reflected it. How many? Chin asked. Initial count shows over 200 vessels. But Captain, these readings, they're not entirely dead. I'm detecting minimal power signatures from several ships. Chen's mind raced. A graveyard of alien ships, some still functional, in a region of space that should have been empty. The implications were staggering. Signal the Vigilant and Resolute. Maintain safe distance but continue scanning. I want detailed analysis of those power signatures. Aye, Captain. As they worked, Chin couldn't shake the feeling that they'd stumbled onto something far more significant than a simple scouting mission. The location of these ships, the timing of their orders, the Admiral's strange behavior, all pointed to one disturbing conclusion. Someone had known these ships were here. Captain, Webb approached quietly. Permission to speak freely? Always, Marcus. This feels like a setup. We're not here for reconnaissance. We're here for something else entirely. Before Chin could respond, Kim called out urgently, Captain, I'm reading massive energy buildups from 3 of the derelict ships. They're powering up. The main screen showed 3 of the alien vessels beginning to glow with an eerie blue light. Their weapon systems were coming online. Red alert. Chin shouted, all hands to battle stations. Helmsman, evasive maneuvers. The Defiant banked hard to starboard as the first alien weapon fired. A beam of concentrated energy lands through the space where they'd been seconds before, its intensity causing their shields to flicker from the near miss. Return fire. Chen ordered. Target their weapon systems. The Defiant's particle cannons erupted in brilliant flashes, striking the nearest alien ship. The impact barely scorched its hull. Minimal damage, Captain, reported Tactical Officer Hayes. Their armor is incredibly dense. More ships were powering up now. What had been a graveyard was becoming a killing field. Signal the fleet, Chen commanded. Execute emergency jump protocols. We need to get out of here. But as they prepared to retreat, Chen realized the true scope of their discovery. This wasn't just a collection of derelict ships. It was a staging area. The aliens had been waiting, perhaps for years, for someone to find them, and now they were awake. The emergency jump deposited them in empty space, 3 light years from the alien fleet. The Defiant's bridge crew worked frantically to assess damage while Chen processed what they'd encountered. Structural integrity at 92%. Webb reported. The Vigilant took a direct hit to their port nacelle, but they're operational. The Resolute escaped unscathed. Chen nodded, but her focus remained on the tactical display showing their previous position. Kim, were you able to complete the sensor analysis before we jumped? Partial analysis only, Captain. But what I found is disturbing. Those ships weren't just powered down. They were in some kind of hibernation mode. Our presence triggered automated awakening protocols. Hibernation? Chen moved to the science station. You're suggesting they've been sleeping? That's exactly what I'm suggesting. The power signatures indicate they've been in minimal power state for approximately 50 years. Long enough for their crews to enter extended stasis. The implications hit Chun like a physical blow. 50 years ago, humanity had just achieved faster-than-light travel. If these aliens had been positioned here that long, they'd been waiting for human expansion into deep space. Captain, Communications Officer Park interrupted. We're receiving a priority transmission from Earth Command. It's Admiral Morrison, and he's asking for an immediate status report. Chun felt a knot forming in her stomach. Put it through to my ready room. Marcus, you have the bridge. In the privacy of her quarters, Chen activated the communication array. Admiral Morrison's image appeared, his expression grave. Captain Chun, report your status immediately. Have you encountered any hostile forces? Admiral, we discover a massive alien fleet in hibernation mode. Over 200 vessels, technologically superior to anything in our arsenal. They're positioned along the most direct route to Earth's outer colonies. Morrison's face showed no surprise. The confirmation of Chen's worst fears was written in his eyes. You knew, she said quietly. You knew they were there. Captain, you're treading on classified ground. What matters now is your next course of action. My next course of action should be to warn the colonies and mobilize the fleet. These ships represent a clear and present danger to human settlements. Negative. You are to proceed with your original mission parameters. Gather intelligence and report back. Chen stood, her voice hardening. Admiral, with respect, that's suicide. We barely escaped with 3 small ships. If that fleet reaches the colonies... Captain Chun, you have your orders. Morrison out. The connection severed, leaving Chen alone with her thoughts. Everything about this mission had been orchestrated. The timing, the location, even the composition of her small fleet. It all pointed to one inescapable conclusion. She wasn't here to scout. She was here to start a war. A soft chime announced Webb's arrival. Captain, we've received additional data from the Vigilant sensors. You need to see this. Chen followed him to the bridge, where the main screen displayed a detailed analysis of the alien fleet's formation. They're not randomly positioned, Webb explained. This is a precise military formation designed for rapid deployment. If they were to move toward human space, they could reach the outer colonies in less than 72 hours. And from there, Chen asked, though she already knew the answer. Earth in 2 weeks. The bridge fell silent as the crew absorbed this information. They were looking at an invasion force that had been waiting half a century for the right moment to strike. Captain, Kim called from her station. I'm detecting subspace communications from the alien fleet. They're transmitting on multiple frequencies. Can you decode them? Working on it. The patterns are unlike anything in our linguistic databases, but there's definitely structure to the signals. Chen made her decision. Signal the vigilant and resolute. We're going back. Webb stepped closer. Captain, our orders were clear. We're to observe and report. Marcus, in 6 hours, that fleet will be fully awakened. In 8 hours, they'll be moving toward human space. By the time we report back and Earth mobilizes a defense, it'll be too late. So, what are you suggesting? Chen looked at her crew, seeing her own determination reflected in their faces. We're going to stop them here. Captain, Hayes spoke up from Tactical. We're 3 small ships against 200 alien vessels. It's impossible. Maybe, but we're the only ones in position to try. Chun turned to the communication station. Park, send a message to all ships. Tell them we're going back to that fleet, and we're going to give them a fight they'll never forget. The crew exchanged glances, but Chen saw no hesitation in their eyes. They understood the stakes. Kim, what's our weapons inventory? Full complement of particle cannons, quantum torpedoes, and electromagnetic pulse devices, plus the experimental plasma charges we picked up at the shipyard. Experimental? Designed to disrupt computer systems on a massive scale. Never been tested in combat. Chen smiled grimly. Then we're about to conduct the ultimate field test. As they prepare to jump back to the alien fleet, Chen opened a ship-wide channel. All hands, this is the captain. We're about to engage an enemy force that threatens everything we've built among the stars. Command may have called this a scouting mission, but what we're about to do will determine whether humanity has a future in space. She paused, looking out at the stars that had been humanity's dream for so long. We're going to show them that humans don't just explore the galaxy, we defend it. The jump back to the alien fleet revealed a transformed battlefield. Where once lay dormant ships, now dozens of massive vessels move with predatory grace through space. Their hulls pulsed with energy, and Chun could see smaller craft launching from their bays like deadly insects swarming from a hive. Status report. Chen commanded as the Defiant emerged from the jump. 73 ships now active and moving, Kim reported. They're forming attack formations. Captain, I'm reading massive energy signatures from their weapon systems. Time to full fleet activation? At current rate, approximately 4 hours. Chen studied the tactical display. The alien ships were enormous, but their size might be their weakness. Hayes, target analysis on the lead vessel. I want to know where their critical systems are located. Scanning now, Captain. Their power grid appears centralized in the rear section, but it's heavily armored. What about their communication arrays? Multiple redundant systems, but there's a primary transmission hub located on the dorsal surface. Chen nodded. That's our target. If we can disrupt their command structure, we might be able to slow their awakening process. Captain, Webb interrupted. We're being hailed by the lead alien vessel. Put it through. The main screen flickered, revealing a being unlike anything in human records. Its face was angular, with deep-set eyes that seemed to absorb light. When it spoke, universal translators struggled to process its words. Small ships of the young species, you have awakened us from our long sleep. We thank you for the service. Chen stepped forward. I'm Captain Sarah Chun of the United Earthship Defiant. You're in violation of the Galactic Non-Aggression Accords. The alien's expression shifted, and Chen realized it was smiling. Your species has such amusing concepts. Non-aggression. We prefer the term delayed gratification. What do you want? What we have always wanted. Your worlds, your resources, your extinction. The transmission ended, leaving no doubt about the aliens' intentions. Battle stations. Chen ordered, signal the fleet. We're going to hit them hard and fast before they can organize a proper defense. The Defiant accelerated toward the alien formation, followed by the Vigilant and Resolute. Chen had divided their small force into 3 attack groups, each targeting a different section of the alien fleet. Entering weapons range, Hayes reported, "Fire at will. Target their communication arrays." The Defiant's particle cannons erupted in brilliant streams of energy, striking the lead alien ship's dorsal section. The impact sent cascades of sparks across its hull, but the vessel continued moving. "Minimal damage," Hayes reported. "Their armor is incredibly resilient." Then we go deeper. Prepare the plasma charges. The experimental weapons had been designed to penetrate deep into enemy hulls before detonating. If they could reach the aliens' internal systems, they might have a chance. Plasma charges loaded and ready. Fire. The charges streaked across space, their experimental drives pushing them to incredible speeds. They impacted the alien ship's hull and burrowed deep before exploding in brilliant flashes of superheated plasma. This time, the effect was dramatic. The alien vessel's lights flickered, and its movement became erratic. Direct hit to their primary power coupling. Kim reported with excitement. They're experiencing system failures across multiple decks. But Chen's satisfaction was short-lived. The damaged ship was already being assisted by 2 others, and more vessels were powering up in response to the attack. "Captain," Parr called out, "we're receiving a transmission from the Vigilant. They're under heavy fire." The screen showed the destroyer locked in combat with 3 alien vessels. Its shields were failing, and hull breaches were visible along its port side. "We need to help them," Webb said. "Negative. Our mission is to disrupt their command structure. Hayes, target the next communication hub." It was a cold decision, but Chen knew that saving one ship while allowing the entire fleet to activate would doom billions of humans. The Defiant continued its attack run, striking alien vessels with surgical precision. Each hit disrupted their awakening process, buying precious time for humanity's colonies. "Captain," Kim called out urgently, "I'm detecting massive energy buildups from the dormant ships. They're accelerating their activation sequence." Chen realized the aliens were adapting to her strategy. Time to full activation? 2 hours, maybe less. Then we need to change tactics. "Park, send a message to Earth Command. Tell them we're facing an invasion force of unprecedented size, and that the outer colonies need immediate evacuation." "Captain, Admiral Morrison specifically ordered radio silence." "Admiral Morrison can court-martial me when this is over. Send the message." As the communication went out, Chen focused on the tactical display. The alien fleet was organizing itself into a formation designed for rapid travel to human space. She had to find a way to stop them before they could complete their journey. "Hayes, what's our status on the remaining plasma charges?" 12 charges remaining, Captain." "And the EMP devices?" "Full complement. 24 devices." Chen studied the alien formation, looking for weaknesses. The ships were powerful individually, but they seemed to rely on centralized coordination. If she could disrupt that coordination— "New plan," she announced. "We're going to target their command ship directly. If we can take out their leadership, the rest of the fleet might be vulnerable to confusion." "Captain, the command ship is at the center of their formation. We'd have to penetrate their entire defensive perimeter. Then that's what we'll do." Chen turned to her crew. "This is going to be a one-way trip. Anyone who wants to transfer to the Resolute can do so now." The bridge fell silent. Then, one by one, each crew member returned to their station. "It's been an honor serving with you, Captain," Webb said quietly. Chen nodded, her throat tight with emotion. "The honor has been mine. All ships, prepare for final attack run. We're going to show these aliens what happens when they threaten Earth." The final attack run began with the Defiant leading a desperate charge through the heart of the alien formation. Energy beams lanced around them as the massive ships opened fire, their weapons creating a deadly web of destruction. "Shields at 60%, Webb reported as they dodged another volley. "Hull integrity holding." Chen watched the tactical display as they pushed deeper into the formation. The alien command ship loomed ahead, its hull bristling with weapons and defensive systems. It was easily twice the size of any other vessel in the fleet. Captain, Kim called out, I'm detecting something unusual about the command ship's energy signature. It's not just coordinating the fleet. It's actually controlling the awakening process for the dormant vessels. Explain. The ship is transmitting activation codes to the sleeping vessels. If we can destroy it, we might be able to stop the awakening process entirely. Chun felt a surge of hope. How many ships are still dormant? Approximately 120. Without the command ship, they could remain in stasis indefinitely. Then that's our target. Hayes, prepare all remaining plasma charges. We're going to put everything we have into that ship. The Defiant accelerated toward the command vessel, weaving between the defensive fire from surrounding ships. The Vigilant and Resolute followed, their own weapons blazing, as they cleared a path through the alien formation. Entering optimal firing range, Hayes reported. Wait for my mark, Chin said, studying the command ship's defenses. We only get one shot at this. The alien vessel was massive, its hull scarred with what looked like centuries of battle damage. But Chun could see the vulnerability Kim had identified, a complex array of transmission equipment that glowed with intense energy. Fire. All 12 plasma charges launched simultaneously, their experimental drives pushing them through the defensive fire. The charges struck the command ship's transmission array in a coordinated strike that lit up space with brilliant explosions. The effect was immediate and devastating. The command ship's lights flickered and died, and across the fleet, the awakening process ground to a halt. Direct hit, Kim shouted. The command ship is losing power across all systems. But their victory was short-lived. The damaged command ship was already being surrounded by other vessels, and Chin could see repair crews working frantically to restore its systems. Captain, Park interrupted, we're receiving a response from Earth Command. Admiral Morrison is ordering us to withdraw immediately. Tell the Admiral that we're a little busy right now. The alien fleet was reorganizing, with the remaining active ships forming a protective barrier around their damaged command vessel. Chin realized they had only minutes before the repairs were complete. All ships, target the repair crews on the command ship's hull. We can't let them restore those systems. The 3 human ships opened fire with everything they had, but the alien repairs continued despite the bombardment. Chen watched in frustration as the command ship system slowly came back online. Captain, Webb said quietly, we're not going to be able to stop them from external attacks. Those repairs are too well protected. Chen stared at the command ship, her mind racing through options. Then she saw it, a small docking port on the vessel's lower hull, partially hidden by the repair activity. Hayes, can you target that docking port with our remaining EMP devices? Affirmative, but the electromagnetic pulse would also disable our own systems. Not if we deliver it manually. Chen turned to Webb. Marcus, I need you to take command of the Defiant. There's something I have to do. Captain, you can't be serious about boarding that ship. It's the only way to ensure the EMP devices reach their internal systems. From inside, we can disable their entire fleet coordination network. Webb stood, his expression determined. Then I'm going with you. No, Marcus. Someone needs to lead the Defiant home. Before Webb could protest further, Chin was already moving toward the transport bay. She selected a team of 6 volunteers, including Hayes and Kim, loading them with EMP devices and portable weapons. Captain, Kim said as they prepared the shuttle, even if we succeed in disabling their fleet, how do we get back to the Defiant? Chun checked her weapon one final time. We probably don't, but that's not the point. The point is stopping them from reaching Earth. The shuttle launched from the Defiance Bay, its small size allowing it to slip through the alien defensive perimeter. Chun piloted the craft manually, using the debris from their earlier attacks as cover. Approaching the docking port, she reported. Prepare for boarding. The shuttle connected with the alien ship's hull with a soft thump. Chin activated the cutting laser, slicing to the alien metal to create an entry point. Atmosphere inside is breathable, Kim reported, scanning the interior. But I'm detecting multiple life signs. We're not alone. Chin drew her weapon. Stay together. Our target is the main computer core. Everything depends on reaching it. They entered the alien ship through the breach. finding themselves in a corridor that seemed designed for beings much larger than humans. The walls pulsed with organic-looking conduits, and the air carried a metallic taste. "This way," Kim said, consulting her scanner. "The computer core should be 3 levels up." They moved through the ship's corridors, encountering no resistance at first. But as they approached the upper levels, Jim began to hear sounds. Footsteps, voices, the hum of alien machinery. "They know we're here," Hayes whispered. "Then we move faster." Chun increased their pace, leading the team toward their objective. The computer core was a massive chamber filled with crystalline structures that pulsed with data streams. At its center was a control console that seemed to coordinate the entire fleet's activities. "This is it," Kim said, setting up the EMP devices. "Once these activate, their entire command network will be disabled." "How long until detonation?" 60 seconds. Chin activated her communicator. "Marcus, we place the charges. Get the fleet out of here." "Captain, what about you?" "Complete the mission, Commander." "That's an order." As the countdown began, Chin looked around the alien computer core. In less than a minute, this chamber would be filled with electromagnetic energy that would cripple the entire fleet, and she would be at the center of it all. The EMP devices detonated in a cascade of electromagnetic energy that rippled through the alien command ship like lightning through water. Chun felt the pulse wash over her, a tingling sensation that made her teeth ache and her vision blur. Around her, the crystalline computer cores went dark one by one, their data streams dying in brilliant flashes. "It's working," Kim gasped, struggling to remain conscious as the electromagnetic field affected their neural systems. "The fleet coordination network is shutting down." Through the ship's hull, Chin could feel the vibrations of systems failing throughout the massive vessel. Emergency lighting flickered on, bathing the computer core in an eerie red glow. "Captain," Hayes called out weakly, "we need to move. The aliens will be here soon." Chun tried to stand, but the electromagnetic pulse had affected her inner ear, leaving her disoriented. "Status report. Are we still alive?" "Barely," Kim replied, checking her scanner. "The EMP devices exceeded their projected output by 30%. We're lucky we weren't fried completely." As they struggled to their feet, Chin could hear the sound of approaching footsteps. Many footsteps. The alien crew was recovering from the electromagnetic pulse faster than expected. "This way." Chin pointed toward a secondary corridor. "We need to find another way out." They moved through the darkened ship, guided only by emergency lighting and Kim's scanner. The alien vessel was massive, its corridors stretching for what felt like kilometers. Behind them, Chun could hear the sounds of pursuit growing closer. "Captain," Kim whispered, "I'm detecting human life signs. 2 levels below us." Chun felt a surge of hope. "The shuttle crew?" "Negative. These signatures are different." "Captain, I think there are other humans aboard the ship." The implications hit Chun like a physical blow. If the aliens had captured humans, it meant they'd been active longer than anyone had realized. "We have to find them," she said. "Captain, we don't have time. The aliens will find us soon. We're not leaving without them." Chun led her team to the ship's maze-like corridors, following Kim's scanner toward the human life signs. They descended through maintenance shafts and emergency passages, always staying ahead of their pursuers. Finally, they reached a secured section of the ship. Through reinforced windows, Chin could see holding cells containing dozens of humans in various states of consciousness. "My God!" Hayes breathed. "How long had they been here?" Chin examined the cell controls, using her technical knowledge to bypass the alien security systems. "These people are from the outer colonies. Look at their uniforms. Some of them are from settlements that were supposedly destroyed by natural disasters. The aliens have been capturing humans for years," Kim realized. Earth Command must have known. The cell doors opened with soft hiss, and Chin began waking the prisoners. Most were unconscious, but a few responded to her voice. "Captain Martinez, colony ship Endeavor," one of them said weakly. "We've been here for 3 years. They've been studying us, learning about human physiology and psychology." "Can you walk?" "Some of us can. But Captain," You need to know they're planning something much bigger than just invasion. They're preparing to terraform human worlds, to make them suitable for their species. Chun felt her blood run cold. How many worlds? All of them, Earth included. The sound of approaching aliens grew louder, and Chun realized they were trapped. The holding area had only one exit, and it was blocked by their pursuers. Kim, is there another way out? Negative, Captain. But I am detecting something interesting. There's a communication array in the next section. If we can reach it, we might be able to send a warning to Earth. Chin made her decision. Hayes! Take the prisoners and find a way to the shuttle. Kim, you're with me. We're going to make sure Earth knows what's coming. They fought their way through the ship's corridors, using their superior knowledge of human tactics to outmaneuver the alien crew. The communication array was located in a heavily defended section, but Chen's team managed to reach it through a combination of skill and desperation. I'm in their system, Kim reported, her fingers flying over the alien controls, uploading all data about their fleet composition, battle plans, and terraforming technology. How long? 2 minutes. Chun could hear the aliens closing in. She positioned herself at the entrance to the communication chamber, her weapon ready. Captain, Kim called out, the upload is complete, but there's something else. This fleet isn't the only one. There are others positioned throughout the galaxy. Earth is facing a coordinated assault from multiple directions. Send everything. Chin ordered. Earth needs to know what they're up against. The aliens burst into chamber just as Kim completed the transmission. Chin opened fire, her weapon cutting down the first wave of attackers. But there were too many of them, and her ammunition was running low. It's done, Kim said. The message is away. Chin felt a strange sense of peace as she faced the advancing aliens. They'd accomplished their mission. Earth would be warned, and humanity would have a chance to prepare. Captain Chun. One of the aliens spoke, its voice filled with what might have been respect. You have caused us considerable inconvenience. That was the idea. Your species continues to surprise us. We expected conquest, but found resistance. We expected fear, but found courage. Chin smiled grimly. Then you don't know humans very well. Perhaps not, but we will learn. Through the ship's hull, Chin could see the lights of human vessels approaching. The Defiant had returned, along with reinforcements from Earth Command. The cavalry had arrived. Captain, the alien continued, your sacrifice has changed nothing. We will still take your worlds. Maybe, but you'll have to fight for every one of them. The final battle began with Earth's ships engaging the alien fleet in a desperate attempt to prevent their advance toward human space. Chun watched the alien vessel as her own species fought with ferocity that surprised even her. The mission briefing had called it a scouting operation, but Chun now understood the truth. It had been Earth's first strike in a war that would determine the fate of human civilization. And as the battle raged around her, Chun realized that her small team had given humanity something more valuable than victory. They'd given them hope. The war for Earth's survival had begun, and humanity was ready to fight.